Looking back over time, when the C8 first came out and even to the present day, many people think that probably more than 70% of the parts of the C8 Corvette come directly from the C7 Corvette, of which I really enjoyed mine. And so I want to double check this idea because it's often a statement used to put down the new generation of Corvette. So let's see how many parts came from the C7. Welcome one and all to Road Odyssey. I am Burke. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Please like, and if you enjoy the videos that I provide, please subscribe. Let's get into this video. I really don't like the hate comments from various people that watch these YouTube videos, but I would like to actually take an honest look at this as best as I can. Chevrolet does have a habit of taking parts from prior generations and using them in the very newest generation. So the C7 took some parts from the C6 generation. When you look at these cars, they don't really look the same. And we're told the C7 was built from scratch, but we all know that they borrowed some parts from the C6. Yet the C7 is still a very good progressive leap over the C6. Not taken away from the C6. I've had a C6 and a C7, love them both. But the C7 is simply a redesigned variant that has progressed very well. Now, again, many people are saying that previous generations of Corvettes are superior to whatever the newest generation is. One way of putting down the C8 Corvette is by saying that, well, the C8 share or have carried over 75% of all the parts from the C7. So that makes the C7 fantastic and the C8 is terrible. I find that way of thinking to be a dumb argument, and it's really quite an immature attack on all of the C8 owners. It's just really hateful. Strictly looking at the appearance of the C8 Corvette, we're looking at a whole new chassis, a whole new body, engine, interior, wheels, seats, etc. It's all new. Cars.com said in March of 2020 that, quote unquote, Chevy says only one part was carried over from the previous generation. From the Torque News articles of July 22nd, 2019, quote unquote, with the 8th generation of Corvette, we have now gotten confirmation from GM that they only used one single part from the 7th generation Corvette. Everything is brand new, built from scratch except for the door latch. The part that no one ever sees, nor would ever care about, is the only thing to be shared between generations for this all-new C8 Corvette. In defense of Torque News, they made a good point by also saying, and their quote of themselves is, people do like to see a new generation being all new rather than partially new. In order to improve, you need to redesign and rethink the parts used so it makes sense to build it from the ground up versus old pieces. All right, so that's what Torque News says, and I agree. Now, perhaps this point, though, is extremely important by revealing that an extreme few number of parts are shared by prior generations. Most people will immediately assume they are spending hard-earned money for a truly new car. So saying that the new generation of Corvette has so few parts is all about sales and less to do about truth. Now, all right, disclaimer here, this is just an opinion and point of view, blah, blah, blah. I found claims by readers of these articles and forums that only one part from the C7 used is completely wrong. For example, several latches are the same. The target top latches and some of the handles, emergency door release handle, the rear deck lid latches. Also, the engine, LT2, is the same as the LT1, just tweaked, and it shares many parts. Corvette Sports says, quote unquote, the same engine block? Allegedly, no, that's new too. Though the LT2 probably shares some common ancestry with the LT1 and the LS2, LS3 platform that preceded it. Keep in mind, they all share the same 6.2 liter displacement. Okay, when I found a Dallas dealership hyping up this one part theory, I do have to think about the reality of the C8 having virtually all new parts except one. So my trust in dealerships is just not too good when it comes to sales and marketing. So mean or not, that's just how I think and a lot of us think. Much of the common news media outlets just spew out whatever they're told. I do like one part of this Corv Sport article. I think it's quite funny. It says, quote unquote, could it be that this repurposed door latch was the deciding factor that kept the car's base price below $60,000? Well, that's almost certainly why, said nobody, ever. Corv Sport does make a valid point that the C8 Corvette Stingray is priced so competitively, most likely because it shares as much in common to the C7 as possible. Other components, while perhaps not precisely exact replicas, must be only tweaked in order to reduce the R&D and parts manufacturing costs. And here's a quick follow-up on that point. Coming from various news sources, there was the weird glow plug symbol found on the emergency warning cluster. Was this from a part of a Duramax? Was it actually planned? No. Chevrolet gave a couple of explanations, like it was a part of our standardized process. I call BS on that one. Another excuse was it was a leftover. Okay, leftover or what? Meaning that the light came from some other car? A shared part not reworked for the C8? Interesting mix-up in the C8 parts bin, but it probably didn't come from the C7? Just some cheap diesel pickup? Wow, that's pretty odd. Let's continue with another point and go back in time. The C7 Corvette was also claimed to have only two parts shared with the C6 Corvette. It's true. A cabin filter and a roof latch. These evil little culprits kept the price of the C7 from skyrocketing. You can trust the news outlets. They've done their level best to do in-depth research and reporting on these topics to tell you the truth. But wait, there's more. How about those C8 Corvette taillights? We all know that they came from the Camaro. Come on, y'all, admit it. These are out of a GM bin from God knows where. And don't forget, there's probably Chevy Bolt parts shared as well. GM needed to do something with all those Bolt parts. Just dump them? No, reuse them. Why would Chevy waste so many high-quality parts? Share them with the Camaro and the C8. Well, guess what? This too is an old story taken from the C7 days. Yep, the C7 also stole the Camaro lights. Well, the idea of them? How dare they? But was this a savings on the C7 price? Does this make the C7 a terrible car? Well, no. As Taj says, GM is a large company. It can operate on the economy of scale, meaning that it has benefits being so large it can make a lot of car parts at a low cost, especially when you sell the car at a lower price, but yet at a super high volume. You make your money back. So yes, there really can be a lot of new parts and only a few parts might be carried over. And we don't know what that math is. So debating about it and tearing up the C8 or the C7 or the C6 just to make you feel good and just to enjoy being a hater, well, that's just a big waste of time. All Corvettes have been built for profit by GM and for fun by us. Is the Corvette an object of which we should fight and hate each other over? Now that is extremely immature, and to think that way is just baseless stupidity. Let's get over it. Either enjoy the car or don't buy it and don't care about it. Go off and do something else. Just go away. You're no fun anymore. So let's move on. Have a great day. I thank y'all for watching this video. I appreciate it very much. Please like if you like my crazy videos. And if you enjoy the videos that I provide, please subscribe. Thank you so very much for watching Road Odyssey, and I will see you later. Bye.